Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest Minty Reacts, and we are back for the latest episode of The Bad Batch, a Star Wars animated series. Today also starts the very fun nature of March, and Disney hating me specifically, because today they're releasing Bad Batch and Mandalorian on the same day. And due to the nature of my full-time job I actually have as an office, I cannot stay up to watch these things, nor do I normally do that anyway, because I like my sleep. So, for the next couple of months at least, until Bad Batch finishes, we're going to have double uploads on Fridays of Bad Batch and Mandalorian, and I'll talk a little bit about that in Mandalorian as well, but we're here for Bad Batch in this episode. So, I came up with a really fun name for it, Sci Friday Double Feature. It's not going to stick at all. Let's just be honest, that name is not going to stick, and it's not going to ever come up ever again, but I think it was pretty funny, and I was going to say it here. But either way, let's get to the Bad Batch. Last week was pretty fun. It was a pretty great, I say pretty fun in the lightest sense of the word, because last week was the child slavery episode of Star Wars, where it was a really cool episode for me personally, because it showed in the Star Wars universe that, like, yeah, the Empire's big and bad. There's just bad people in the galaxy that have zero connection to the Empire beyond like some very, very light tangential connections. And I found that to be so intriguing, the fact that I actually did that. It's like, yeah, no, they're just bad people in the galaxy. So I'm really intrigued to see what they do in this episode. So let's just get right into it, shall we? So in 3, 2, 1, let's get going. Well, that off to a great start already. That is a very badly damaged ship just floating through space. There's something in there, man. There's something in there. I mean, clearly he knows that, but there's something in there. Kid show. Kid show. We just basically did Alien in a kid show. What was on that ship? What kind of beast was on that ship?
I would hope so. Notify me once our remaining vessels arrive, and see to the transfer of the assets.
That voice sounds really familiar. That voice sounds incredibly familiar. I'll be honest, it sounds either like a Troy Baker or a Nolan North, but I don't think they worked on this show. But it does sound like one of the two.
Dr. Hemlock.
Oh, it pains me to see you like this. Why does someone...
Dr. Hemlock? He must be from Clone Wars. He's got to be from Clone Wars.
Emperor's purpose. Don't you wish to be a part of such a scientific achievement?
No, not particularly. Again, you blew up my civilization.
And he will not have my cooperation.
Oh, she knows what the Emperor's trying to do. Okay.
Lost communication with Transport 904.
Have the recovery teams begin a search. We need that asset contained.
Okay, so the ship that we saw at the beginning was one of theirs. Interesting.
He remains in Imperial custody on Coruscant.
Have him brought here. I wish to speak to him personally.
Ooh. Trying to get that research one way or another.
Did you? And you left us.
You're fine now, aren't you? And you got your ship back.
With no help from you.
Sid's kind of got a point, though. It's like, yeah, it might not have helped, but you got off the planet, didn't you?
Son, I'm sending you the intel now. Don't come back unless you scavenge something valuable.
50% of the cut. Wow. Good job, guys.
Limited intel. Huh. There's a surprise.
How hard could scavenging cargo be?
Words spoken moments before disaster. All the time.
That would explain how the wreckage was reported so quickly. The crashed vessel appears mostly intact. The cargo aboard should be in fair enough condition to transport.
That's good. That's always good to know. That was good. I mean, you gotta deal with the thing on the ship, though, but hey, at least it's intact. At least it's all intact.
Lack of communication signals. The crew aboard most likely perished.
We don't know for sure. They could be trapped inside. Come on.
I mean, hopeful thinking there, Omega, but us as the audience already saw at least one guy get eaten by something. So, therefore, crew probably didn't make it.
High volt electro style.
That record can do some damage with that. Haha.
Unfortunate happened here.
Oh, it's got claws. Okay. Has claws.
By yourself?
Your concern is not warranted. I will be fine.
In a situation like this, it's probably better to have a backup with you, Tech, anyway, but if you say so. This episode is very atmospheric. I really like it. Plus, Alien's one of my favorite movies, and this makes me... This episode feels very Alien.
Why is it so cold in here?
Mm-hmm.
It's some kind of lab.
Yeah. So it's a mobile lab, which makes sense given what we heard on the planet earlier.
What's it doing?
It's their cloning technology, but this configuration is different than anything I saw in Topoka City.
So what were they doing on this ship?
The grid should be restored momentarily.
So cloning technology, but configured differently on a mobile ship, basically just on a mobile unit, and everything is destroyed.
What happened? What attacked this ship?
I love how this episode is building. I love this. We haven't seen a horror episode in Star Wars in quite a while. I hear something. Oh, I hear something gooey. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? Okay, so it... Alright, so it basically eats electricity. That thing's so cool. That thing's very cool.
I suspect this is some type of research vessel.
We know!
Whatever they were researching just got loose.
Just got loose? I think you mean it's been loose. Oh. Wait a minute, that's cool. So it eats electricity and then evolves. Very fascinating. I agree with you, Tech. I agree. This thing is very fascinating. Oh no, it's out. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. That's very much not good. That's when we get to the village. Oh no.
Given the fact that the crew was most likely eaten by the creature, I doubt it is currently hungry.
It ain't the crew.
That's true.
How is that helping?
It ate the crew, Omega. It ate the crew.
I can help. I know my way around Kamino and Tech.
Go. Rekka, with me.
Yeah, send out the two combat-trained, the more combat-focused people to go actually hunt the damn thing. And then have Tech and Omega back to just, figure out what the hell it is.
No.
Alright, time to work your magic, Tech. Work your magic.
Of other Kaminoan experiments, but Nalase kept that data away from me.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
What they were doing was happening off-world.
Yeah. They're doing heavy Empire stuff off-world. That thing is really cool, though. That thing is a very cool creature design.
Which propels its rapid growth.
You mean it'll get even bigger?
Yes. Much bigger.
That's not good.
Let it get near the power grid, or it will increase exponentially in size.
Okay, so that's a callback to Clone Wars then. What the heck? What the hell, dude? They're dealing with a kaiju? This thing is so cool. This episode is awesome. I am loving this episode. Oh my god. Okay, but how do you beat it though?
We've got chips in our tail.
Yeah, you gotta kind of deal with those two. Gonky, no!
Go!
Not yet. I am not finished transferring all of the data.
Come on!
It's like, yeah, Tech, you gotta get out of there. Gotta get out of there. Gotta take whatever data you have. I don't think they're gonna get their payment for this mission though. I don't think they're gonna get payment because there was no cargo on the ship to take back to Sid. So, not good. Okay, clearly the Empire knows how to hit it. Yeah, they are hurting it. Just gonna grab a big like claw. That's funny.
You're taking it. Let's not be next.
Yeah, they're gonna take it to experiment on it, like they were already doing. And then probably gonna, like, blow up this village to ensure that no one knows what they were doing. And they just got out of it. Okay, they just got out of Dodge. They're like, we're not going back for this thing. We do not have any stake in this game right now for this clone thing. That thing got very big. So what's gonna happen to all these people, though? Like, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. It was your ship that crashed on their planet. Like, what's gonna happen to them?
The crashed vessel was part of an Imperial cloning operation.
The Empire cloned the Zillo Beast.
Zillo Beast. Okay, cool.
Before he became Emperor.
What's he want with it?
The creature's genetic material has the potential to be weaponized.
Interesting.
I suspect the Empire did not destroy the cities on Camino to end cloning. They merely wanted to control it.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what they were doing.
Send the data to Echo and Rex.
Mm-hmm.
See what they can find out.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't want to have to worry about the clones, the actual clone troopers. They wanted to just get the technology and the research for themselves to start on the operation of, unfortunately, cloning Palpatine to actually, explain the sequels.
Several. The locals have been detained and will be dealt with.
Nah,
However, one
that's
vessel escaped our
unfortunate.
assault. It was a military-class shuttle.
So they're gonna kill all of the villagers. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Star Wars does not have mind-wiping technology. So they're probably gonna kill all those villagers because they were just in the wrong place.
And if you fail to convince her, it won't be long before you are in a cell like me.
It's like, huh. Now you know how it feels.
Rolling Nala
Omega.
How very interesting. It seems we have much to discuss.
Also, that goes in line already with your other plan of capturing the military vessel that fled the scene. Just by happen, it's one and the same. Very intriguing. That was a very, very intriguing episode. I very much loved pretty much all of that. I loved basically all of that. The very tense atmospheric horror of the ship with it basically being like Alien, where they're like, oh no, they're being stalked by something. What is going on here? And like slowly figuring out what this thing is. Absolutely love that. That's like one of my all-time favorite things is just that feeling of a show or of a movie. I revel in that so much. It's why Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time, but Aliens isn't really, because Aliens is a big action movie. It's a big bombastic action movie, but Alien is a very tense, very like hardy, character-driven horror movie where it's like it just delves into the horror where it's like, oh no, we're being stalked here. So, absolutely loved all that. That was all cool. The creature itself is very cool. The Zillo Beast, very, very cool. And like, I feel like I barely remember it from Clone Wars. I need to go back and just watch Clone Wars. I need to go back and really just watch Clone Wars, because I've only seen like a couple of episodes of Clone Wars, if I'm being really honest with y'all. I've only seen a couple episodes of Clone Wars and mainly picked up on a lot of stuff from it, just from like zeitgeist of Star Wars, being like, oh yeah, that's from Clone Wars, like, oh yeah, that's from Clone Wars, like, that's from Clone Wars, kind of a thing, and just like researching some stuff from there. But I need to actually go back and just watch the Clone Wars, because it has been very long since I've done that, and also I haven't ever seen all of it either. So definitely need to do that at some point. Definitely need to do Clone Wars at some point. But that Zillo Beast was very, very cool. That was a very, very cool creature. I loved that, especially how it went from like weird lizard alien thing, like a xenomorph, to then just a kaiju. It's like, okay, that's very cool. I'm here for all that. That's amazing. That's awesome. But beyond all that, the deeper part of it, the thickening of the plot here of like the Bad Batch realizing what's going on, and just like I said in the episode as well, it's like I also said in the reaction too, it's them realizing that the Empire shut down the cloning facilities by blowing up Camino, not to get rid of the clones and not to stop the technology, but to stop the clone troopers, because the clone troopers, as they realized at that point, couldn't fully be controlled, thanks to the Bad Batch, they couldn't fully be controlled, and they were too unwieldy at that point for the new Empire. You can't really have a mass, I mean, you could have a mass army with the clone troopers, but you can't really control that mass army as effectively as you could just by enrolling people from the galaxy forcefully, like fascists do. So yeah, just taking all that technology and weaponizing it and making these monsters with it is so intriguing, and I am very much here for all that. And yet again, it's Dave Filoni trying to help explain stuff that they did in the mainline movies that make no sense. And it's him basically being like, yep, I gotta try to explain now why they started cloning Palpatine, because we need to have an explanation as to why we got Palpatine and Rise of Skywalker when they could have just written a better movie. But, here we are. So, and no fault on Dave Filoni. No fault on Dave Filoni or the Star Wars shows that are attempting to do that. Fault on Disney and LucasArts and Lucasfilms for making the sequels the way they did. Wow. I don't want to go on a salty rant here about those, but we all know what we're talking about here. But either way, I do like the fact that we're getting better stories to explain that stuff, and we're getting it over so much stuff, and even ties into Mandalorian as well, where they found the cloning facility, or what it seemed like a cloning facility that Grogu was captured in I think it was season 1. I think it was like near the end of season 1 of Mando, where we found basically a cloning facility, and it's like, that's intriguing. And I think it's all building onto that. I think it's just continuously building onto that of the Empire is trying to figure out a way to clone midichlorians, because we got to bring up midichlorians from the prequels, but they're trying to find a way to clone midichlorians accurately to then build up to being able to clone Palpatine for when he dies or whatever in the original trilogy. Which, if we didn't have the sequels doing it poorly, that plot would be very science fiction-y and would all make a lot of sense, and does make a lot of sense when you're explaining it in bits and pieces as like a growing narrative. Not just throwing clone zombie Palpatine in there and having it be that he came back in Fortnite. That's no. But I'm getting off topic here. That was a really great episode. I really, really like that episode so much. I love that episode. So yeah, let me know down in the comments as well. What do you think about that episode? Did you like the horror elements of it? And did you like this growing plot that they're doing, or the thickening plot that they're doing, of explaining these cloning facilities and this deepening conspiracy with the clones? And if you like this video as well, as per the usual, leave a like as well. It definitely does help out. And if you do like the content here and want to see more and want to show your support for it, definitely leave a subscription as well. It does help out and does mean a lot to me as well. And right over here is going to be a playlist for the rest of the Bad Batch. Go ahead and watch that. It is very good, clearly. And right over here is going to be a video that YouTube recommends as well, so watch that too. And until next time, which will be in a couple hours for Mandalorian, stay Star Warsing, and I will see you for Mandalorian. Until then, peace everyone. Peace.